Charlie Kirk, conservative firebrand and Trump ally, was shot dead on September 10, 2025 at Utah Valley University. But was this a real assassination? Or a staged psychological operation by intelligence agencies? Either way, it's their handiwork. And behind it? A web controlled by Jesuits and small hats, pushing division towards civil war. First, The Smoking Gun, a book titled The Shooting of Charlie Kirk by mysterious author Anastasia J. Casey. Published on Amazon September 9th, 2025. One day before the shooting. Screenshots went viral before Amazon yanked it, claiming a technical glitch. But details match the event. The campus chaos, the rooftop sniper, the national fallout. This has the fingerprints of the intelligence agencies all over it. Recall William Casey, former CIA director, once said, "We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false." CIA, Mossad, MI6 have mastered this, staging events to manipulate narratives. Charlie Kirk wasn't just any target. Long the alt-right's golden boy, controlled opposition rallying youth for Trump while towing the line on Israel and endless wars. But recently he flipped. In July 2025 podcasts, Kirk blasted Israel for weaponizing Jeffrey Epstein's blackmail ring to control Congress. Epstein was Mossad's creation, he claimed, linking it to funding Marxism and liberal ideologies in the West to erode Judeo-Christian values. He hosted critics like Tucker Carlson and Dave Smith, questioning Gaza terrorism and demanding full Epstein files release. Kirk's pivot threatened the small hat's grip, those shadowy elites engineering societal decay through media, finance, and intelligence. Jesuits, the Vatican's Black Ops arm, have long puppeteered agencies like the CIA, nicknamed Catholic Intelligence Agency for its devout directors like Casey. Their aims and motives tie them to Mossad via shared occult networks, controlling global psyops from the shadows. Staged or real, this screams psyop. The event is designed to serve the elite agenda. 2025, bills like the AI Safety Act expand surveillance, using algorithms to predict threats based on social media rants. Post-shooting, FBI's Kash Patel pushes for nationwide AI grids, citing assassination culture from Luigi Mangione's CEO hit. The goal seems to be to justify martial law amid extreme polarization. Learn more by searching Burn the Corporate Fiction on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, and X.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Burn the Corporate Fiction. We are going to talk about the shekel grubbing psyop that occurred on September 10th. So, buckle up. We're going to be heading over to Rumble. This appears to be more and more of a psyop every day as new information comes out. I'll tell you, the one thing that has me a bit perplexed, I'm trying to work out, is such an obviously staged event. Why did they do it in such a way to make everybody look at the small hats who actually, I think that's who's behind this. Whether you believe it was real or fake, it definitely has the Star of Remphan all over it, right? So that would be why we're going to Rumble, so I don't have to use euphemisms like that or, pseudonyms rather, to refer to these people, because we need to just say what it is, right? And tonight I have with me to help break this down my dad, Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. How you doing tonight?
Fantastic, bud. Fantastic. Just
Excellent,
sitting here in the heart of dystopia, seeing through the illusions. Got the old sunglasses on, baby.
Right on for the they live sunglasses. You got to wear them. Yeah, and it looks like we have Deb, adorable, backstage. How are you doing?
You're muted, darling.
Good. I don't know why I can't sign in under that adorable. I'm not sure what the hell is going on, but I just chose. Yeah.
StreamYard's a little buggy sometimes.
By the system. You got blacklisted by the system. They determined that you're a threat.
Yes, of course.
So let me say hi to those of you that are in the chat. We got LJ, obviously Deb's up here. Pat, good to see you. We have Alflees. I always butcher your name. I'm sorry about that. Gutra, right? Brian Ray, good to see both of you. And Jerry, son of Mick, Kevin, excellent to have you guys. Appreciate it. Over on the Rumble side, we got Don't Talk to Me Scumbag. It's pretty good name, right? And Emma Tandis, I believe it is. Good to have you. So glad you guys are over there. Those are the ones in the chat anyway. So, all right, let's get right into this thing because the psyops abound. One, obviously, that freaking book that came out on September 9th, right? The shooting of Charlie Kirk. See, to me, it's almost like they do stuff like that. Because didn't they do that just recently again with another psyop? What was it? It was some shooting or another. Can't remember. I'll have to look it up in a little bit. But it's revelation of the method. Is what I think. They're taking credit. They're letting you know that it's a psyop, so they can absolve themselves of guilt and be like, well, we showed them. They just didn't believe us. We put out a book detailing exactly what happened the day before the actual shooting. Another thing about that is I had one of you commented on the last video I did and said that, well, it was a different time zone, right? So it was September 9th there, but September 10th here, something I think you were saying, but that doesn't explain why Amazon pulled the listing right away, right? So why bother doing that if it's legit? And who writes an entire book and has it published the same day something happens? I mean, what is that? So
you gotta love the Wayback Machine, though. Take a look at what I just put backstage. Oh, the Wayback Machine. There it is. There's the book. There's the whole thing. You can take it down all you want to, Amazon. It's still there in perpetuity, man. There it is.
Yep. Dirty ketchup.
If you look, publication date, September 9th, 2025. What?
Yep. Yeah, they can't do that. Well, did you know that the federal government just bought archive.org? So don't count on that being there for too much longer anyway. Right, because they're always asking for donations. So I guess the federal corporation's like, why not just buy this thing up? It's a big pain in our ass anyway when we're trying to run our psyops. So I wonder if they're going to keep the Wayback Machine or if they're going to put it under the control of AI and let AI scrub things like that, because that's pretty damning right there, you know. And not just that they wrote a book, but it's exactly what happened, exactly where it happened.
Yep.
Right. So is that the script? Maybe somebody accidentally published the script on Amazon. It's like, okay, we've got to write this psychological operation real quick. Oh no, Jeff, you didn't publish that, did you? You know, like that type of shit. But well, here's an aspect. Was there something else you wanted to show on there?
Oh no, I'm seeing if this will let me see the thing where you can read part of the thing. You might not get it.
Said derailed trains in Ohio. Yeah, that movie they made about exactly what happened. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's going to do it. I got the little circle of despair. But anyway, it can't be. It's on in perpetuity on the Wayback Machine. And even though they scrubbed it, if you go to it now, like if you go, let's see. If you try to pull it up now, I had the link before. If you try to pull it up on Amazon, it comes up with the little thing. It says 404. This item cannot be found. Go on.
Yeah, I know. I tried to do that too. My wife's friend actually sent us that. She's waking up and she sent us that book. And my wife's like, "What do you think of this?" And I'm like, "I don't know what to make of that." It's very, very interesting because after seeing the graphic display that they put on, at first I was like, yeah, it looked like he's definitely got shot. But now with everything that's coming out, that's why I never made one commitment to one or the other. And I still can't entirely, but I am leaning much more towards the entire thing is staged because you have to keep an open.
I'm 100% sure it was.
Have to keep an open mind, in my opinion, because of the age of AI deepfakes, though, Dad. You know, that's the only thing about it is it could very well be, and probably is. I'm leaning towards what you say. Is that?
Did you see where Trump gave an address about it?
Oh, with his finger? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got
that was fucking AI too. You never know. It's hard to tell. You have to look at it, but that's the one key thing. Always watch the hands. AI has a real bad time recreating hands and keeping them consistent in video.
Yes,
They
it
can't do
does.
it.
Well, yeah, I seen that. And that's why I have to maintain that open mind for the possibility. The other thing that doesn't make sense, I'm 90% sure it was staged. I'm like 90% on that, especially with the stuff I'm about to show you guys. But again, I have to leave that 10% for it could be a psyop within a psyop. The thing that doesn't make sense to me is why do it in such a way. I can see what they wanted to do with it. So maybe they didn't expect everybody to know exactly who did it and start looking at old Netanyahu and them over there, right? Because that's pretty much what's happening is everybody's like, yep.
He was the first notable figure to, when I'm talking about, like in politics, to put anything on X about it. And it was like right after it happened. The Jerusalem Post was the first news outlet to report on it. I'm like, yep. What the fuck? Right?
And it seemed like mockery, the post he made. To me, it seemed like mockery. He's like, oh, he was killed for defending the truth, is what he said. Well, is that a reference to him talking about old Epstein and Congress being bribed and a certain group of hook-nosed small hat people promoting Marxism and the Islamic invasion? Is that what you're talking about? The truth you're talking about, BB? Milikowski, Polish.
They're not brink of a civil war over there over him anyway.
I did know that. And that's another thing that Charlie Kirk was bringing up as he was like, the stuff he's doing over there, they know pretty much about October 7th. I don't know how much we can say of that on YouTube, but we're going to go to Rumble very shortly. So the link is in the description. I'll also put it in the comments before we head over there. But yeah, we're going to have to go over there for most of this. A couple things I can show you while people realize that we're streaming and stuff start rolling in. Is this how many people know that the kid that is the patsy, in my opinion, the new Lee Harvey Oswald, or what was that kid's name that shot at Trump? Damn it, I can't. Yeah, he's a patsy too. Yeah, the little kid that looks, he's got acne all over his face, yet he was able to get past the most sophisticated security in the world and get on a rooftop and apparently shoot the president in his ear, but it healed right away. Anyway,
that same dude that was at the Trump assassination was right there behind Charlie at this.
Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Look, it's for real.
This is how they pick this patsy. He was actually at one of Charlie's campus debates, and Charlie made him look like an idiot. But of course, this is another thing that makes me think it's all staged, because this kid is also an actor. So how many of Charlie's his debate rallies were actually, were they all staged? Maybe, guaranteed content, have these kids come up and, debate with Charlie. Charlie looks like this conservative genius, and, these people but he's an actor, right? IMDb. We're going to take a look at that too, but check this out.
Okay. He can debate. He just lies.
So let's just
calm
down
like
a little
freedom
bit.
Of speech?
Well, I mean, you could say whatever you want if you want to make a fool of yourself, but we do have like 10-year-olds here and 11-year-olds, so can we have some decency?
Whatever.
Okay, you don't care. You're a typical leftist because you only care about yourself,
Who said I was
not
a
about the
leftist?
other people.
Who said I was a leftist?
Well, it's very clear by how you're acting.
Do you even graduate college?
No. In
the
fact, I didn't go to college. I've been able to be pretty
You
successful
did
without
not
a 4-year
graduate
degree.
college.
Yeah, I did not go to
You're
college.
going to come to college and act like you know.
So are we gonna debate resumes or ideas?
Ideas.
Most college degrees are meaningless, and most of you guys are being totally scammed by being here.
No.
Now, let me further complete the point.
So getting educated is a scam.
First of all, it's not always an education, and you are perfect evidence that you haven't really been educated. You are hyper hostile. You have no humility. You have very little wisdom about how the world works, and you come and you want
apparently that person's Siri just turned on while they were screen recording us. It's really funny, actually, but
to be recognized and noticed. You came with your own bullhorn to cut in line someone who patiently waited to ask the first question. What have you actually learned at this institution except that you're the center of the world and everyone must listen to you?
You go to countries, or you go to campuses.
Well, you guys get the idea. But on a side note, the character that Charlie Kirk represented, I mean, for the most part, stood for traditional conservative values. I disagreed with his statism, and I definitely disagreed with his stance on Israel up until recently. But like I said on the last stream, my dad agrees with me, and I think Deb will as well. The response from people especially at colleges, these liberals, right? The response is sickening because they don't know that this isn't a staged event and that Charlie's an act. They don't know none of that. And they think this really happened, that this father of two, this husband who basically goes out, he's pro-life, he promotes, Christian values, conservative, traditional morals, right? That he was shot, publicly executed, and they're celebrating, saying he deserved it. It's disgusting. Like, now you and I, we all here know that this is a psychological operation. These people celebrating it do not know that. They think it's very real, and they love it. And that's scary as hell to me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's the intent. They're wanting to foment violence. Why? Look at this. Boy, if only there was some way to have monitored this guy through his chats and his Reddit posts and all this other bullshit, right? If only there were something like Gideon to prevent such a tragedy before it could possibly happen. There's one there you're going to see the whole narrative of.
Hey, you got that? Pull it up. People see it.
What's that? I didn't.
Oh, were you? Oh, you were just coming up with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that shit. That's just where I'm going with. If only there were something like, I don't know, Gideon.
Well, Cash Patel's come out saying, in light of that the left have an assassination culture, and we need to implement like AI grids, basically, of AI behavioral. He didn't use the term Gideon or say what it was, but basically that they need to set up AI governance grids. That's Cash Patel's stance. Good old Cash Patel, who found the killer in 33 hours, right? 33 hours.
Yeah, 30, 33.
Yeah, this guy who was going to get the list released day one as FBI director, and he was going to arrest all those deep state operatives and all that good stuff. Now he's cleaning up Israel's mess like a good little goy. So I did say goy.
And then he sat up there and said he was going to see him again in Valhalla. Not heaven.
That was interesting because he's not even Scandinavian. Obviously, he's an Indian and he's Hindu, right? But well, here in true Psyop fashion, patsy fashion, apparently the assassin had the presence of mind to fully incriminate himself with his roommate prior to going out and committing this crime. So that's how we know he did it. The same way we found the hijacker's passport blocks from the crash site, right? So just
fireproof, fucking fireproof, bro.
Maybe Charlie should have been wearing a vest made out of that passport material that they seems to be, because there was one guy that the Tesla truck attacker, one of the psychological operations, I think, was it earlier this year that happened, where the guy blew up in the Cybertruck. This thing immolated him, right? So the Cybertrucks, especially when their batteries catch, water is not even going to put that out, right? You could that thing will burn underwater,
right?
Immolated him, but they found out who it was and his intentions because they found a passport and a manifesto, though the car immolated him. That makes sense. So conveniently, he messaged his roommate. He says, it says, Cox says that investigators interviewed Robinson's roommate, who showed them messages between him and an account with the name Tyler on the messaging app Discord. The messages from Tyler stated the need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point and leaving the rifle in a bush. So that's convenient, right? So he has the presence of mind in the middle of about to go assassinate this public figure, and he's like, "Oh, I better text my roommate and tell him where I'm getting this rifle and where I'm going to leave it."
Yep. Well,
right?
This is what we're supposed to believe too, because we've all by now seen the video of the guy climbing down off the roof, right? Where's the rifle? Well, their thing to that was that he broke it down. Okay, he broke it down. Now that's horse shit. I'm going to show you what the rifle that he had. Right here. Let me go to. Wait, where am I at?
See, look, here he comes. He's on the roof.
Yeah.
Where's the rifle? Oh, he collapsed it down, huh? But it was fully. Then he.
There's the rifle. that he had. This is supposedly the model of rifle that he had. I've got it backstage.
Yeah, I see it. I'm pulling it up.
Okay, right there. Okay, that's the model of rifle, and he broke that down. Now you have to understand there are screws that go up into here to hold this barrel mechanism in place. There's a block behind there. It doesn't just thread. It's not threaded on there. Okay, you're not going to just unscrew it, and you're certainly not going to grab the barrel after firing a round out of it, because you're going to have a burn on your hand if you do. So he supposedly broke this rifle down. And then after he came down, then he put it back together. So this means he had to have a set of Allen wrenches or a screwdriver or something with him as well. Now there's this thing loads with a little magazine that goes up into the bottom of it, and the whole thing holds like 5 rounds. Okay. He left the spent cartridge in the chamber. He didn't eject it. And that's the one they pulled out, and they found the anti-Antifa, and I guess he had Genesis written on another one, and all of the New Testament written on another one. I want you to understand, this is the same bullet. This is the same cartridge that he was using. You want to tell me how in the hell and with what you're going to write all that bullshit, the lyrics to an Antifa song, fucking cheat codes for a video game, and little slogans and shit. Think about this with a logical mind. This is the round right here. I'm holding it in my fingers. You can see this. Where are you going to get able to go ciao bella, all this other bullshit on one of these? And with what are you going to write it? And for what purpose?
That's exactly right. Well, you'll be pleased to know, if I can show you real quick, that the first images of the engraved bullet have came out. There it is.
Oh, get the fuck. Oh, God. Israel didn't do nothing. I like it.
Israel didn't do nothing.
I couldn't read it until I looked up on it there a little bit. And that's the thing, is if you ever try to engrave on a round object.
No, I haven't, but it seems
the fucking engraver will go out of control. It's hard. It's very, very, very hard. It's painstaking to be able to do it and even have something come out kind of legible. All right, especially on a round, smooth metal surface like that. So he took the time to write on all these things. See, they had to make it fit, because the other guy, they said, oh, he wrote it on the magazine. Okay, well, this doesn't really have a magazine that sticks out or that you could really write on. So they said, I don't know, just say that he did it on the shells. Oh, okay, yeah. And I would love to see the pictures of the shells. I really would, because this, like I said, this is the round. This is the round right here.
It's funny, Captain.
Look, just so you know how big a round it is.
Let me give you here.
He wrote all that. It's like those fucking people.
Go ahead, hold it up there so people can see a little better.
This is it right here. And he wrote all that shit. He scrawled all that shit on the brass of a round like this. No, he did not. What is he, like one of those people that writes the Bible on a grain of rice? You ever heard of those people that do that?
It's funny, Captain. It's Captain Escaleto. Says these elites are not even trying anymore. They're just admitting that they're staging everything. I swear, I've been saying the same thing for a while now. So is my dad. It's like they don't even try. Well, I actually think it's something a little different. You guys tell me what you think, but I think that
they push it too far, Ryan. They push it too far. They got just about enough to sell the story, and then they got to go overboard, like they did with the fucking passport, right? Oh, here's this passport that defied all the physics and everything else and didn't burn up, but everything else, the fucking concrete shit burned everything else. But this passport made it through, or they drop off the fucking engine at the crash site there. And then, nobody did the research, and you find out, well, the plane that it supposedly hit was a Pratt Whitney. That's a General Electric. What the fuck are we talking about here? That's the kind of thing. They just got to push it, and always with their goddamn manifesto. Man, stop. Once I hear manifesto, I know it's bullshit.
Well, here's what I think it is. I think for so long, the people of the world, really in general, but especially here in the spoiled ass United States, where they've allowed the government to become daddy, they've been asleep in this artificial womb. for so long that the elites have gotten used to not having to try very hard. That, combined with the fact that they're not very smart to begin with, they're ruthless, they're vicious, they can be clever, but they're not smart. And once you see their one playbook, that's all they have. They're a one pony act. That's it. They don't have anything else. They don't have the creativity to do anything else. And so I think they're used to people being asleep and used to it being easy for people to believe 2 planes can take down 3 towers and a passport can survive a plane crash, right? Into a building that collapses into its own footprint. They're so used to that working that they don't know how to adapt to this awakening of people's consciousnesses. It's unprecedented for them, and that's why I think they're panicking, trying to get this AI governance set up. That's why I say all the time. But it's true, because they know their time's limited. Everybody sees through them. I mean, look at this. Look how much information is coming out about this guy. As soon as they find the patsy, everybody knows it's a patsy. They knew it was a patsy before they even found him. They're like, yeah, they're going to find a patsy. And sure enough, people have done research like I'm about to show you. And also, the other thing that's amazing is so many people, at least in my feed on X, immediately look right over at the country with the Star of Remphan on their flag, and they know that it's them. Oh, it was them for sure, because of what he was talking about up until his death. Now, they don't realize that the whole thing just could be staged, the elimination of a character that was put on the world stage to play for a certain time, came out of nowhere in 2015, 2016, blew up, started this massive foundation with the help of Lord Michael Farmer, the other people that are in control of Turning Point UK, which is Candace Owens' father-in-law, and who's part of the House of Lords, if you didn't catch that. Blew up out of nowhere, took control of this government-controlled opposition institution called Turning Point, and then now he's been eliminated for a political agenda. It's a show. It's a stage, right? That's why I'm really leaning towards that's exactly what happened. Especially stuff like this, it makes me question all of Charlie Kirk's campus debates. I mean, so this kid, that's how long they've been planning this. This kid came up and debated him on campus, but this kid's an actor. Look. IMDb account. There he is. Just like that one Matthew Crooks. Was in a BlackRock version, right? They're all actors. They're openly actors. They tell you that they're actors right here. You can just look up his IMDb account, right? They're used to this working. It doesn't work anymore. What do you think of that, guys?
No, they're all actors. This is the whole thing. Did you see the video of Erica Kirk at the casket where she was kissing his hand? Those
you
hands
sent that to me.
Those hands don't even fucking look real. I mean, it's just.
Here's what
it's kind of cringe, anyways. And who films that private moment and then posts it to their Instagram? She posted that to her Instagram.
Yep, it's kind of gross.
Over the top, all the time, over the top.
That is over the top. Well, here's what I think that they were trying to do, and I don't know what you think of this or you, Deb, but what I think that they were trying to do until it didn't go the way they planned it, where people just seen right through it immediately, which I think is awesome. But I think they were going to frame this as an anti-Semitic assassination because of Charlie's former support of Israel. And look at this little Psyop Easter egg that they dropped into one of his debates. And I've shown this before because they were for sure going to, I'm surprised they didn't get this kid as the patsy. And you guys will see what I'm talking about in just a second when I pull him up. Take note what his shirt says.
So Sota 473 refers to Jesus as being a fornicator, getting 56.
His shirt says sniper, and he's reading all the damning verses out of the Talmud that really demonstrate the small hat's view of Christianity. So
6 refers to Jesus burning in hell.
There you go.
Shabbat 104b says that Mary was a Baba Messiah 24a reads that if a Jew finds an object that a Gentile goy has lost, it does not have to return it. Yemamoth 98A says all children of Goyim are animals.
There you go.
Jemamoth 84B says if you eat with a goy, it is the same as eating with a dog. Baba Messia 140.
See Charlie's MK Ultra programming starting to malfunction. It's glitching up a little bit there.
Does not compute.
B says Gentiles, goys are not humans, they are beasts.
All of which are
And
legitimate
then-
verses.
So
I think this was a staging. This was a staging for using this potential, because I think they put a lot of irons in the fire. And then they decide at the time of enactment of their psychological operation which irons to actually use. I think this was an iron in the fire of what they intended to be a rallying cry against anti-Semitism, but it's not working out that way. It's not working out that way because you have these mainstream podcasters who are actually asking questions.
Did Israel kill Charlie Kirk? The alleged shooter is now in custody, turned in by his own father. Case closed, right? A lone gunman, a young man chasing infamy, the assassin of one of America's most popular political activists, the most viral political assassination in modern history. But there's an issue, a very serious issue. Given how authorities have handled this investigation, we can't treat their information as concrete. So it begs the question, what if there is more to this story? Shortly after Kirk's assassination, speculation of Israel's involvement spread like wildfire. The claims were so viral that a Newsmax journalist was forced to ask Benjamin Netanyahu himself during an interview where he appeared agitated and nervous as he denied the allegations.
Before I let you go, I want you to address one thing, and it's just the absurdity of it. Some of the internet rumors that somehow Israel is behind the Charlie Kirk murder, and I don't believe it for 1 second, but I want you to make a statement. It's so absurd.
That's insane. That's insane. It's not only insane. I think it's so absurd, so stupid, and so ridiculous. You can't believe that people are saying this. They just found the perpetrator. They'll get to the bottom of this.
This speculation about Israel being behind Charlie Kirk's assassination came across as absurd to many people, myself included, given Kirk's history of loyal servitude to Israel and the Zionists. I mean, what motive would Israel have for killing their own loyal subject? But then came this bombshell. Journalists Max Blumenthal and Anya Parampil revealed Kirk was beginning to break ranks with the Zionists. He was questioning Israel. He was refusing Zionist money and platforming critics. And for that, he was met with intimidation and backlash from powerful Zionist figures. He was afraid of them. In this video, we'll dive into the article, lay out the claims, and we'll confront the very important question.
We're not going to watch the whole thing, but obviously...
I just thought of something. What if he was indeed afraid of Israel and something going to happen from Israel, and he actually staged his own assassination to make Israel believe that he's actually got killed?
That's Inception's level of Psyop right there.
Yeah,
that's
man.
A Psyop within a Psyop within a Psyop, right? Possible. But, and that's the one part of this that doesn't make sense to me, is why would they... So if it is all staged, as it appears to be, why would they do that after having him? So if it is staged, that means he must have been going out and planting these comments and having CIA agent Tucker Carlson and that other guy, Dave Smith, on his show to speak out against Israel and do all this stuff that would obviously give Israel motive to do this. And then they use the same MO with patsies and all that everybody already sees. Why would they do it in such a way that gets everybody to look at Israel, right? Or the majority of people anyway. Like, that's the only thing that I'm hung up on with this whole thing being staged, is like, if it is staged, what purpose did it serve? Or is it just not serving the purpose they thought it would? Which is what I keep coming back to. It's like, okay, they intended to paint this in a much different way, but people see through the propaganda too well now. So they're not able to do what they wanted to do with it. Now they're kind of doing damage control. You know what I mean? It's kind of how it appears to me. Isn't that a confusing aspect of this, right? Because, he was speaking out against them. So it's like, why do that? But
well,
I guess.
And this is the thing, is people have always got to be, if I was to come out and say, hey, have you ever noticed that it's these Chinese that control all the porn? They're the ones that are feeding everybody porn. And these Chinese, they come in here and they're running the banks and charging high interest rates, but they don't charge each other interest. And, you know, they actually, the Chinese, they've taken over our entire entertainment industry. And to make things worse, we've got a bunch of Chinese influence in our Congress.
Oh, for
a
sure.
bunch of Chinese influence. In fact, there's a bunch of our congressmen that have dual citizenship with China.
But
Would
see,
you
that's
say, I think we need to root these fucking Chinese out and get rid of them?
well, yeah.
Well,
But
that'd be fine, right? But if I change it around to another group of people, then what? Oh, no, Holocaust. Ah.
That's how they hide, like how they hide ownership in shell companies and launder money through shell companies and stuff, or hide just ownership like BlackRock, State Street, and through investment companies, stuff like that. Well, they do the same thing with countries in general, which are just corporations. And so China has been controlled by London ever since the Opium Wars, right? Yep. So it all goes back to the Crown Corporate. So they're making China look like the boogeyman, and it is being a boogeyman, but it's just following orders and playing its part on the world stage because it's still the same small hat merchants out of London. Which of course is controlled by Rome, or the Holy See, always has been it's always been controlled by Rome since it was founded. London has. And so it's their commercial center. It's their financial center, right? So the United States, the military center, or the District of Columbia is the military center. London is the financial center. And obviously the Vatican is the spiritual center, right? But, I mean, I agree with you. It just still comes back to the same people. It's like, why do we tolerate this? Where they own, like you said, most of Congress. Well, AIPAC literally does own all of Congress, except I think Thomas Massey's like the only one.
That's not the only Jewish donor on behalf of Israel.
No, absolutely not.
Forget about Sheldon Adelson. Well, his widow anyway now.
Who is he? I don't know about that one.
Sheldon Adelson is like the kingmaker. He's this wealthy Jew that finances every president that's ever been in office, man.
Interesting. That I did not know. It stands to reason, though. Yeah, and it's
always real good friends, too. Real good friends with Netanyahu.
Well, see, and that's another thing that doesn't make sense about the Kirk thing is if he was why would they use their own platform, right, that has such huge influence, so much influence that even this young kid I work with, he's like 21, he just turned 21, not political at all, not into government. He's a smart kid, but he's just not into that stuff, right? But he likes Charlie Kirk. When Charlie Kirk died, he texted me. He was like, hey, man, you see that? Right? That's how much power and influence Charlie has over the youth of this country, and really a lot of countries. And so why would they use that to draw attention to how Epstein was used by Israel to blackmail most of Congress, according to Charlie Kirk, YouTube? I'm not saying that. But according to Charlie Kirk, they Jews fund a lot of the subversive movements in the country. And this is according to him on his own podcast. Why would they do that? Why would they do that if it's all, I do believe it's all staged. I just can't work that one glaring problem out in my mind because it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. I mean, no matter what, that country is behind this. That absolutely. Whether they actually ended somebody or it was all staged, as it looks like it was all a staged event, right? Why that? That is what doesn't fit. Unless they're trying to enrage the world against, get the world riled up against that country. Maybe that's part of the grand plan, like Albert Pike's plan for 3 world wars, where he says the 3rd World War will be fought between the Zionists and the Muslims. Well, what better emblem of Zionism than...
Well, no, they actually said it was the Christians and the Muslims for their mutual destruction so that Zionism could spread.
No, so the doctrine of Lucifer can spread. But that's the whole thing, is because Zionism has taken over Christianity. It has.
Oh, yeah.
So what Christianity are they going to use if it's not Zionist Christianity? Well, there isn't another one except for us out here, that don't subscribe to religion because we see it as a method of control in government, you know. So it's like, but he said the pure doctrine of Lucifer will be embraced, is what Albert Pike said. So that's, but here, speaking of that stuff, here you got old good old Kash Patel. This post is actually
good old cross-eyed Cash. Don't he look like somebody shoved an icicle up his ass?
It looks like he just got caught doing something he wasn't supposed to. Like he got caught. Yeah, with his dick in the maid or something.
He looks like a raccoon when you turn on the porch light and they're getting on in your trash.
So look, this post, Sir Escanor, Hopium Slayer, it's a funny name, says 33,000 Clinton emails, 33,000 Epstein documents. In 33 hours, we've made historic progress for Charlie Kirk. Notice a pattern here? Think it's just a coincidence? TPUSA just released this beautiful 3-minute and 22-second long video honoring Charlie Kirk, which is an encoded 33 because, you know, it's 3 multiples of 11, 11, 22, 33, 322, encoded 33. A life of faith, a legacy that endures, remembering Charlie Kirk. 320, oh yeah, that too, 322. Skull and Bones, if I remember correctly, Genesis 3:22 is, behold, man has become one of us, knowing good from evil, which is why Skull and Bones uses that number 322, just so everybody knows. But let's see what old Cash has to say, huh? He's full of shit.
Cross-eyed Cash.
This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that's their message to each other. We don't need to listen to the rest of your garbage, but yeah, 33, that's the message to their. Emma Tanda says Cash is a joke. And yeah, let's see, we had
that thing. Wait, there was something about the 347s. There's 3 hats lined up and they all equal 40, you know, they all have a 47 on them, and that works out to the 666.
Gregory Theodore says somebody that looks like Charlie Kirk will run for president in the near future. I believe, yeah, I do think that they're, 100% going to use this, or maybe like somebody who's one of Charlie's kids, right? Or somebody that's going to, they're going to use this as an emotionally charged way to prop up some political candidate. Gregory, I agree with you on that for sure. But damn it. All right, we are going to move over to Rumble for the uncensored portion of this stream. So I'm going to put a link in the chat. Quick. And then there's also a link in the description. Yeah, you guys head over because the Rumble ones are really good. Not that the YouTube ones are not, but our hands are a bit tied here on YouTube. So once we get over there, we got some interesting things to show you about a potential second shooter, right? And we can actually name who's behind this, whether it's just a completely staged event or it actually, somebody did actually lose their life, which we all hear. My dad's 100% sure it's staged. I'm about 90. And what do you think, Deb? Staged or no?
Deb?
You're muted if you're speaking.
Adorable.
She might have stepped away. Well, either way.
We can hear you pee.
Either way, Israel's about. We don't want to say that. We're going to say the small hats are definitely behind this, and we're going to go over to Israel so I don't have to sidestep that. No, over to Rumble so I don't have to sidestep Israel anymore. So with that, we're ending YouTube. Hope to see you guys over on the Rumble side. If it's in the chat and it's also in the description of the video, the Rumble link is. So hope to see you there. All right, let's get rid of YouTube with the J.